Hey guys! So you probably noticed I have some 5 o'clock shadow going on. I'm all dirty because I have just come in from the shop, which was where we in one of my previous videos how to make a metal icicle. That is where I have been working recently, and I thought I would make another video about that. Oh, I have a hole in my sock. That's nice. About forging. So currently, my dad and I are working on a project that we're going to take to Quad State that is not a metal icicle, and I will try to put a video about that up when it's finished, and no spoilers. But today I learned how to use 3 new tools, so I was going to tell you guys about them. So, number 1, I learned how to weld. So to weld, it involves electricity. There's a current. So there's a metal table and a generator box, and there's one wire with a metal clamp that clips onto the metal table, and then you put your piece of metal that you're going to be welding with on top of the metal table, and then you take the other wire, which has it kind of looks like a glue gun if you took off the tip and the place where you put the glue, and you just have a sort of like a handle and then a little hole in it. And in that you stick the weld, which is metal with a sort of paper coating on top of it, and it looks kind of like a sparkler, except a lot fatter, and the ends that the metal is just showing is a lot shorter, and then you twist it in, and when you touch the end of the weld to the metal, it completes the electric circuit, which makes the electricity go through it, and it heats up the weld and the metal next to the weld, making them bond, and then it can fill in holes or stick pieces of metal together. In this case, we did both of those today. We had a piece of metal and it had a crack through it and a couple holes drilled into it, so we used the weld to fill that up. And we had then we took the piece and we welded a handle onto it so that we could put it in the forge without catching ourselves on fire. So that was an interesting tool. It's you have to wear a welding helmet with, like, the one we have is got like an electric screen so that it like notices when you turn on the welder, and then it darkens itself automatically because the light is so bright. It's electricity, so it's like looking at lightning, and it's really bad for your eyes. And then it's kind of scary because the metal is like molten and it kind of splashes back at you a little bit. So that's kind of like, don't get caught on fire. I have a couple holes in my shirt now, like little ones from it hitting me, but it doesn't, like, it will hurt if it sticks to you, but it hasn't really stuck to me that much, so it was okay. The second tool that I want to talk about is the what's it called? It's a cutter. I don't remember exactly what it's called. I'm going to call it the pressure cutter, but that's not what it's called. And I'll probably remember it like when I'm done making the video. I'll put that in the description. And it's a cutting torch. So it's a torch, and it's got oxygen in it and another chemical that starts with a C, and I don't want to say something else that isn't, but it's a chemical that starts with a C. Like oxycyanidine is what an oxycyanidine kind of thing is what it's called, but the part that starts with a C is something different. And what happens is you turn it on, and the oxygen will come out a hole in the middle. It's got like a little tip on it and then a handle, and the oxygen will come out a hole in the middle, and that's what makes the metal get cut. But first you heat it up with the chemical that starts like the C, and it's really hot, and it sort of makes the metal start to bubble, and then you press the button to make the oxygen go on, and you bring it across, and it's like making a volcano, kind of like, it's really cool to see how it melts itself. And it's just like you move it along and it melts until you get to the end, and you cut through the end, and then it just falls off, and then there's a piece, and then the side of it ends up looking really interesting. But if you do it straight, it's a pretty nice cut. If you do it kind of wobbly, it's like a meteor sort of squished the side of it. You get the piece that you wanted off, but it's not a very clean cut if you aren't holding your hand steady. So that one was kind of fun to use. Um, Although the torch, if you do things wrong, it makes this really loud pop sound, and that's kind of startling. And so the third thing that I did, which was my favorite thing, was I learned how to use a grinder, which is it's it's a tool that you use to grind the excess metal after you weld or just anything that's sort of like unhelpful bumps or ridges off. Because when you weld, the molten metal sort of plumes up in like ridges and bumps, and you don't want that there, especially if you want a smooth surface. So you use this grinder, and it's got a spinning wheel that spins really fast with an abrasive material on it, and then it's got the wheels guarded on the backside, and then there's a big handle connected to the cord on this side and a smaller handle on this side. And you turn it up on an angle, and then you just squish it across. And I like it because it's really kind of fun to like watch it sort of just get smaller and disappear and get really smooth. I like that. It's like one of those satisfying things, like when you watch something get cut with a really hot knife or something. It's like one of those satisfying things. I like it. So yeah, so the grinder was my favorite, and then the cutting torch was my second favorite, and then the welder was third favorite. And so being out there with all the dirt and metal, you get dirty. And yes, so I shall go wash up, and then I'm gonna have lunch, and then we're gonna go back outside and do it some more. So yeah, so that's what we do in the shop, and I'll make some more videos about this if you guys want, or if I feel like it, because I probably am going to feel like it. So I will see you guys all next time. Bye!